In today's video, I would like to give an IELTS speaking test to my student Alex.
Hi.
Alex has been my student for a few months now, and he's preparing to take the IELTS test now for the third time. Alex, can you tell us something about your previous speaking test scores?
Okay, in my first test, I just only got 5 on speaking, but after 6 months or 5 months, I can remember, I improved my speaking to 6.5. Yeah.
And that was recently?
Yeah.
Great. So it took about 5 or 6 months to improve from 5 to 6.5?
Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. So let's get started with part 1 of the speaking test. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Can you tell me your full name, please?
My full name is Yu Haowen.
Thank you. And what shall I call you?
Alex.
Thank you. When the examiner asks, "What shall I call you?" I think it sounds much better to say something like, "Please call me Alex," or "You can call me Alex." It sounds better than just saying Alex. Now, in this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Let's talk about what you do. Do you work or are you a student?
I'm a student.
Wait a moment. Is it correct to say, "I'm student"? No, it's not. What did the examiner say? The examiner said, "Do you work or are you a student?" So the correct answer would be, "I am a student." And this is a very important point. During the speaking test, try to relax and listen carefully to what the examiner says and how he or she says it, and try to repeat that in your answer. The examiners always give you the correct grammar and pronunciation, and so you should try to repeat that in your answer. And what subject are you studying?
I am studying in Aerospace and System Engineering in Fengjia University.
Again, here we have a mistake that Alex didn't need to make. What did the examiner say? The examiner said, "What subject are you studying?" And so Alex should have followed this grammar in his answer. He should have said, "I am studying Aerospace and Systems Engineering." It's important to listen carefully to the examiner. They are there to help you. Actually, the grammar is in the question, and so you should use that in your answer. And why did you choose this subject?
To be honest, in my first year in college, I studied mathematics, but I felt like I didn't have any patience, so I started to looking forward my interest. And the second year, I transferred my major to aerospace, and I want to become a pilot in the future. Yeah.
So what do you think you will do after you finish your studies?
I think I will try to go to Australia to get a pilot license and try to find some work in there, because I think Australia, the atmosphere is more suitable for me. Yeah.
It is normal for people to need thinking time when they are asked a question. During this thinking time, instead of saying as Alex said, it would be better to use words or expressions like, "Well, actually, let me think. In my opinion, to be honest," or even to say, "Well, I've never thought about this question before, but..." It's perfectly okay, and it's good for your fluency score to use expressions like this when you are thinking. All right, now let's move on to talk about flowers. Do you like to have flowers in your home?
Not really, but my parents, they prefer to buy a lot of flowers to decorate their home, like my home, yeah. And some, I think they always buy a lot of tropical plants, yeah, I think.
And are flowers important in your culture?
Yes, flowers is important, and in some ways we will give some people flowers when they pass away, yeah.
Hang on a second. Flower is important? Are we talking about flour? No, we're talking about flowers. The examiner asked the question, are flowers important in your culture? And so you should try to follow the question in your answer and talk about flowers, not flower. Follow what the examiner says and use that in your answer. So, in answer to the question, are flowers important in your culture? The answer should be, yes, flowers are important in my culture, or no, flowers are not important in my culture. Follow the question, let the examiner help you. Well, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, and if you found this video useful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much.